I'm here with Jonathan, who is the director of one of the films that just screened tonight. And so we were just talking about the fact that you have a film where the audience sort of perceives it as one thing, and then it basically they find out midway through the film that it is actually something else. So that takes a different type of creative process. So why don't you maybe talk a little bit about that?
Okay, so like, it's kind of weird because like I felt like if I started it and the audience already knew that they were dead, the audience wouldn't be as receiving, And so in order to do that, like I need to, make it more relatable, because no one really talks to a dead person, they talk back, right? So with it making it seem like a divorce, it hits those emotional strings of the audience to where they're emotionally invested in. And finally at the end, that's when you realize, and then everything that you just saw comes flooding back in, and it hits another emotional string. And so that's kind of what I wanted to do. So then, to really reach out to my audience and kind of just shake them, and just like at the very end, like, hey, this is something else.
And that's exactly what you did. I mean, I got to screen it personally, and that's how I felt. I mean, I felt shooken up, And you almost, there's a moment where you, as an audience member, you're sort of saying, okay, wait, this isn't exactly what we perceived it to be. What's going on here? And there's that inquisitive, moment for an audience member. I know that the title of the film is Time's Up, and we spoke a little bit in the talk back about the relevance of the watch. Did you want to talk a little bit about that?
Oh, for sure. So the watch is supposed to be like my my nod to the audience that, pay attention. Like it's the very first thing that you see. It's you see a broken watch, something's wrong, and so you have to figure out like why. And so that's kind of like my hint to the audience, saying like, pay attention, because it sounds like a divorce, but it's not really. So and I'm actually going to be releasing a slightly different edit, I think. So I just wanted to add like a little bit of like, like sound effects. And so like what I had in mind was just like, a little bit of a ticking, and that's supposed to be ever so relevant, or ever so slightly in the film, just to kind of keep the mind on the watch. So.
And I have to commend you, because really, actually, for me as an audience member, and this may be different for everyone else, but the moment that the film clicked for me was the moment when the manager said the title of the film, Time's Up. And that's when it all fell into place, and I really like that. It almost sort of tied the film in a nice little bow, And yeah. Exactly. And no, you're right. I love that. I love that we're having a dialogue about it, because that, for me personally, that was when the film sort of came together, and I made the realization of what was actually happening, which I thought was really brilliant of you. So yeah. Any other thoughts that you'd like to share?
I mean, not really. I mean, if you can come out, whoever's watching this can come out and see like some of the other, other screenings of my film, like definitely watch it. And I really hope that it impacts people in a positive way, and just really changes lives, because as it feels like as a writer, that's kind of our job. Like we're not here to write for entertainment. Our writing can be entertaining, but it's always supposed to be geared towards impacting at least one person's life. So if I impacted someone's life with my film, then I, as a writer, I did a great job.
Love that. Yeah, that's I mean, that's your goal. That's your, that's the ultimate goal, really, with what we do in this industry. Anything that you're working on coming up?
I'm actually in pre-production for another short. I'm actually taking a complete U-turn and trying comedy.
I was going to ask if you're normally in that genre.
Yeah. So this one is also gonna I guess this is my niche, but it's also gonna be misleading. So, but it's gonna play off of kind of like a dramatic feel, but it is going to be a comedy. So.
Great. Well, that's exciting. Congratulations. I'm looking forward to seeing it. Do you feel like there's going to be a little bit more challenges, maybe, kind of navigating the comedy genre?
Yeah, just hitting I feel like the comedy genre is not for everyone. It's a very hard thing to do, because comedy is subjective. So like one thing you find funny, I might not. So it's really just making sure that I make it funny to that audience, and then hitting the points that I need to hit. So that's the biggest challenge. But I think I know that I can overcome that. So.
I have full faith in you. Yes, it was so nice to meet you, Jonathan. Thank you so much for Michelle. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. Yeah, and best of luck to you tomorrow.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.